Hello and welcome to another edition of Check It Out. All right, friends, check it out. I got my top 10 for about 10 bucks. Some of these are going to be a little bit under 10 bucks. A couple of them are going to be a little bit over 10 bucks, but basically these are everyday tools that every homeowner should have, and they're about 10 bucks. I'm going to share links below in the description to each and every one of these products. And also, while you're down there at the description, hit subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Doesn't cost you anything, and I so appreciate it. So I'm going to talk about all these guys right here. Let's get straight at it. My favorite tool, the one used in my house like crazy, is this called the 6-in-1. I've got a couple of them here. These two are identical. This guy's just a little older. This is a little bit different style of one, but this one right here, this is the one I really recommend. This is a 6-in-1 right here. It's got a number 2 Phillips driver at the end. You can pull this guy out, flip it over for a full-size screwdriver, pop it back in, holds really stable. And then also on the tips, it's got 2 hexes. And the hexes are, of course, the most commonly used sizes, which is a 1/4 and a 3/8 inch, which are very, very popular. Then on the other side, I kind of loosened this guy up just so I could show you one-handed here. But on the other end, now you've got kind of a smaller screwdriver. And then you've got this number 1 Phillips, which is the one that's perfect for all your kids' toys and whatnots and getting the batteries that now have screws on them. This guy's ideal. So this one right here, the reason I have 2 of these guys is to kind of show you that I actually have about 5 of these things. And these guys are well under 10 bucks. I'll put, again, a link in the description. They start at about 5 bucks, and they do go up from there, but this particular model right here runs about 8 bucks. This one's my favorite right here. When it's all put together, it's very, very stable. In other words, these pieces are not just going to fall out in your toolbox. They're not going to fall out when they're banging around in your truck or, or the kids are kind of using them. It's going to stay together really nice and well. This guy right here, I've got a friend who really likes this one. My opinion is, see all these little pieces right here? So you can pull them out, pop them in here. My opinion is these guys kind of fall out, and now all of a sudden I got to search through my tool bin or in the battery drawer where you might keep it and try to find these missing pieces. So I prefer this guy right here. They're about the same price. So check them out in the description, and hopefully you'll feel the same way. All right, friends, let's move up to some pliers. These are a few different kinds of handheld tools that every homeowner should have. This is a good, solid set of pliers right here. This kind right here really works well with this solid end right here for doing things like twisting wires together. This is the ideal tool to have right here. It's also got some snippers right there at the end. As you can see, this pair is a little bit rusty and stuff, but understand this is not because this pair has been abused. It's basically because this pair has been around, I've had for a long, long time, and I've been in the construction world. I'm not currently, but I was a contractor for many years, and those guys were awesome. Definitely something you need to have as a homeowner. Here's another one, CHANNELLOCK. CHANNELLOCK is actually the name of the brand, but the truth of the matter is it's called an adjustable wrench, and well, I believe it is. But they make these in different sizes. This is kind of a medium-sized one, so that's what I grabbed today. And this guy right here, you can obviously adjust it, grab something big, grab something small, and almost kind of use it as pliers. Definite must-have in your toolbox. Again, under 10 bucks for the average size. The larger ones get more expensive. Again, check out the links and you'll see them in there. Here's another adjustable wrench. This is a great guy right here. So this guy right here obviously can make it smaller, bigger, and this is going to grab those bolts a little bit more sturdy than something like this guy where you're pinching them down. This guy right here, you can set it exactly at the size you need and really get a lot of torque on it. So a great, great tool. Again, well under 10 bucks for the average size one. This right here is 10-inch. And they come much smaller and also much bigger. Obviously, the bigger you get, the more expensive it's going to get. This guy right here is an awesome, awesome tool. Maybe not quite used as much as some of these others, but what this guy does is it can snip off wires. It can snip off nail heads. Like if you can't get that nail up, you can kind of go down and it'll flush cut it. But what these don't get enough recognition for, in my opinion, is the way this is kind of rolled right here. You can grab a nail. Let's say you got a deck in the backyard and some of those nails need to come up. Well, you can grab that nail and basically just use it as a lever, and you can pull like this and then do it again and again and pull those nails out. This is what I use to pull nails. So I've got all these hammers and other tools to cat's paws to pull out nails. This is the guy I most commonly use. So great, great tool. Again, check out the links in the description. I'll put it down there. Here's an obvious one, but my wife is like, dude, you got to throw in duct tape. it amazes me how many times I'll go to my friend's house and they're like, have something that needs to be fixed up, something that needs to be repaired, or maybe it's a quick fix, and they don't have duct tape on hand. Spend the 10 bucks. This is Gorilla Grip. I'm not saying you have to get Gorilla Grip, but even the name brand duct tape, under 10 bucks, always have a roll on hand. I mean, that's just almost good common sense in my opinion. Let's go up to tape measures. I've got a few different ones here, and actually this first one here and this last guy up here kind of the same. One's a little newer and one's been around the block. I think it's always good to have a few tape measures on hand, but I did pull some of them out because I wanted to show you a couple differences here. These 1, 2, 3 are all about the same size. They're all 25 footers. They're kind of a medium duty tape measure, about 10 bucks, actually a little bit less. This guy right here, made by Husky, this is a much more stout, heavy duty one, but the problem with it is it's heavy. So honestly, it's not my favorite one. I'd much rather go with a cheap, light one like one of these guys right here. Now, if you need absolutely perfect, accurate measurements and you're a real woodworker, you're probably laughing at this going, hey, I'm gonna get a really nice, expensive tape measure. But for the average handyman, and again, I was a contractor for multiple years and did a great job at it. And this is my favorite tool right here, a very inexpensive, and the yellow and the blue are essentially the same, but an inexpensive tape measure. I'll tell you one trick though. This Husky right here, if you look, it shows you the inch marks, but it does not show you any of the fraction marks. And if you look at some of these less expensive ones, funny enough, these ones do show those fraction marks. There's 3/8 and half and 5/8 and 3/4. And it's just really nice and convenient, especially if you're someone who's using the tape measure a few times a month. If you're a contractor using a tape measure every single day, I got it. You understand these. You got all the 16ths down and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not, for the average Joe out there, grab one of these tape measures that has these pre-measurements right here, or at least they're labeled. And I've also seen some of the tape measures that have the standard measurement system as well as the metric system, so you can kind of check that out there. All right, very cool. Here's one of my favorites, and I did HVAC, which is heating and air conditioning, which means I was under houses and in attics all the time. And this is one of my absolute favorite tools, and under 10 bucks. They go all the way up to 20, and they actually go more than that, but you can get these actually for 6, 7 bucks. I'll put one in the description, one of my favorites, and I'll talk about them for just a little bit. What's so nice about this is it makes it hands-free. So if you're up in the attic, put this guy on, you wear it just like a headband, and wherever you look, the light follows you. So you don't have to, and also in automotive, I've been working on my cars a lot. You put this on your head and you don't have to worry about a flashlight ever again. I mean, it's just brilliant. I know it's so simple and easy that you almost forget how great of a tool it is, but try using the old fashioned, like screwdriver in one hand, flashlight in the other hand, and trust me, you'll go spend the 10 bucks on this guy right here. Absolutely awesome one. My advice is this. I like this guy right here. It's a little bit less expensive. It works great. It's got this red light too. I don't know. That is a bunch of hooey to me. I don't really use the red one. But this guy right here is plenty strong. I can see in the attic, under houses, all that kind of good stuff. And the automotive as well. They do market some that are brighter and have like multiple lights. My warning is this: if you get a nice simple one like this, it's really lightweight. So when you put it on your head, you almost forget you have it on. Some of the more expensive ones, some of the brighter ones really get heavy. So I would be careful about trying to spend too much on one. Again, I'll put a link in the description to my favorite one, and you can check a few others out while you're in there. All right, now we're gonna jump up to a couple of these guys right here. So these are some Allen wrench sets or hex sets. And these guys are a really good tool to have in your toolbox. They run about 10 bucks each, and they come in standard measurement as well as the metric system. So the American system, if you will, and the metric system, if you will, what Americans use and the rest of the world basically uses, more or less. And then this guy right here is actually one that has kind of both. So it's kind of nice. It's got some of the metric as well as the standard system. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description. Again, about 10 bucks. Now I've got two more here that jump up a little bit from 10 bucks. You can find them for a little bit less than 10. My advice is go ahead and spend a little bit more than that. In fact, this guy right here is about 20 bucks, heavy duty stapler. This thing is awesome. I have a mini version of it, which is about 10 bucks. I use it once in a while, but this is my day in and day out driver. And then as far as stapling things, and then also I have one that's an electric one. I'll do another review if you want to see that one. again, subscribe to the channel and you can see those other videos I'll do. The electric one is absolutely phenomenal though. For like 30 bucks, you can get the electric one, and it's a game changer if you use this kind of tool a lot. Most people that have this tool, I would assume, use it like I do, which is not all that much, maybe just a couple times a year, something like that. But great tool. And then this is one of my all-time favorites. So I did HVAC, heating and air conditioning, and that's where I was introduced to these infrared kind of red light laser temperature gauges. So you just kind of point to whatever surface you want, and it'll tell you here, all right, you're 67.5 degrees, and you can point it at whatever you want. So if you have like a heating vent like up here, let's see if you can see that red dot, you could point it at it and it would tell you what temperature. Well, obviously I don't have the heating system on right now, so it says 66.5. However, if you turn this guy on, it's surprisingly accurate to the temperature coming out of there. So if you're ever running the heater and you're thinking, hey, is it on, is it not on? Boy, that's a great tool to have right there. And, you know, is the right temperature coming out? How hot's it supposed to be? So it's an awesome, awesome tool for that kind of stuff. They do start about 10 bucks. My advice is jump up a little bit. This guy right here was only about 20 bucks, and you can get a decent one for about 18. I'll put a link to the description below. All right, friends. Hey, I hope this helped you out. I've got a whole bunch of other tool reviews that I have either done or I'm going to do. And if you have something that you'd really like me to do, go ahead and leave a description below or a comment below, and I will check it out and see if I can come up with that. I've got just about every tool under the sun, and I'm just trying to do some reviews. We're going to start off with the less expensive ones, move into the power tools, the cordless tools, the two-stroke motors, leaf blowers, and edgers, and all that kind of good stuff. Hey, thanks again, friends, and please hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.